Yes.
Should we want to start over? Yeah, let's do it again. All right, everybody, please welcome John Goodman and Billy Crystal.
Place is wonderful from here. And you folks look wonderful from here.
Thank you. Look at these phones you're giving us. I don't have this one. Well, I can sell these.
The coroner's report.
While we're getting set up and just to sort of get it started, can you talk about working with Dan Skin?
Dan is a hipster. Dan is like he had totally different energy than Pete Docter had, who was great. Dan is like a cool, not that Pete was,
Yeah.
but Dan is different. Dan is like he's a hipster. He's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a young guy.
Great sensibility, and he'd read with you.
Yeah.
The other characters weren't there to, he read with you, and he's got a good energy to feed off.
Yeah, he was funny too. He's a funny guy.
And when you do something you don't like, it gets a funny little look on his face.
Yeah, I mean, no, not.
Maybe I'd do this again.
Yeah, I like Dan a lot.
We'll start with the first question here on.
Hi guys, good to see both of you again. Great job with the film. John, stop. It's too cute. For both of you, what do you find to be the great touchstone about the friendship of Mike and Sully, and what it is that makes them so beloved to everybody around the world? And for each of your individual characters, what is it about the character that resonates with you?
The fact that he's a blowhard. No, I think the reason they work so well together is that they complete each other in a way. I think Sully really needs Mike Wazowski. It makes him complete, lets him know, lets the air out of him a little bit. And especially in this film when they're not completely formed monsters yet. They learn from each other, and they learn how to adapt, how to let go of their preconceived notions of themselves and of the world, and they're good for each other.
Yeah, for me, Mike is fearless, and he's really the favorite character I've ever played in anything I've done. I really missed doing him until Lasseter at a party came up to me. It was John's 50th birthday party, and said, we have the idea. It's a sequel, but it's a prequel. They're in college, and he just walked away. But he left an idea. I went, oh, this is going to be great. And it was so fun to revisit them at this time in their lives. It was such a brilliant idea to put them in that time period where they're about to become who they're going to become. And that's what was so interesting to me. I love this guy to play, and playing it with John is phenomenal because we work together in the studio, and we can act together. And it's not just we're not just reading lines. We're performing them, and we're playing them, and we feel them. And I think that's why their relationship on screen is really great because it's a real thing.
Right here in the middle in front.
Hi guys.
Hi.
When you were both college age, did you each feel that you fit into the world around you, or were you a little bit of a misfit at that age?
I have to admit I was a little bit of a misfit. I was a film directing major at NYU when I'm still not sure why I became a directing major when I was really an actor and a comedian. But there was something that drew me to doing that. I'd made a few films on my own, and and I loved it. But so I felt like I was a misfit in a way, and out of it because all those other people, it was Oliver Stone, Christopher Guest, Mike McKean. It was a class of film people, and our professor was Marty Scorsese. So Marty was a graduate student, Mr. Scorsese, which is what I call him, which I still do when I see him because he gave me a C. And he was an intense. It was 1968, 9, and 70, and he was an intense guy with hair down to here, a big beard, and granny glasses. Like, who looked like that then? So he was so fluent in movies and passion, and I really felt like I wanted to be in front of people still. So I was a little out of it.
And John?
I ain't never been in no college with famous people. I was a drifter for a while. I just was desperate to fit in with a group, and really, I was swimming, I was lost, treading water, trying to find my way. I wanted to play football, it didn't work out. I didn't really know what I wanted until I found acting in the theater department, and then it just, everything fell into place, and I had a passion about something, and then I started living my life.
Yeah, that's how it was for me too. Once I found a theater group, then you're just like a gym rat, but you're a theater rat, and then that becomes your fraternity house, that becomes your family, extended family, and I still see a lot of those people to this day, because they owe me money. And no, but that really becomes your thing. And like in this movie, they find out who they are. And that's the most important element of this movie to me is, well, Mike has a dream, and the dream may not work out, and then he has to readjust and recalibrate, and he does that with the help of his friend who tells him who he thinks he is, and he starts to believe it himself. So for me, that really happened then.
Here in the second row of the center.
Picking up on that, what kind of obstacles did you guys face to get where you wanted? Because we see these two characters, you know, have that right in their face. Did you have those moments of doubt, like this dream that I know I'm destined for might not happen?
I still have them. You still do. Every time we finish doing something, we don't have something else. Except him, he did 14 movies last year. You're the new Michael Caine. I'm just a guy who can't say no.
Oh,
So you constantly, we all do. We all have things, and that's what, is so fascinating and frustrating and great about life, is you're constantly, in some ways, starting over all the time, and I love that. All right, I did that, but now I don't have a job now, and then something happens, or you make something happen, and this starts for them in this movie.
My question is for Mr. Goodman. Almost 30 years ago, you starred in Revenge of the Nerds, where you played the head coach to the jocks.
How'd that go?
It's a good movie. It seems sort of influential on this. So my question is, how does it feel to be on the other side of that equation? And did you rewatch the film before making this?
No, I haven't seen it for a while, but I was pretty loose while I was making it. Had a lot of fun. It's a great way to revisit college, because obviously I couldn't do that in a non-animated way. It's a good way to reflect back on how I was then, and my wants and dreams and everything, and how you adapt to everything that changes you and which roads you take. And I'm babbling like a fool right now, but that's what I've always done, is babbled my way through life.
In the fourth row here.
Hi guys, I was just wondering, obviously you made Monsters Inc. kind of must have been about 10 years ago now. How has the experience of working with Pixar changed, or is it kind of just as cool as it was 10 years ago?
Before we were talking, Billy was talking about, we were just flabbergasted by the fact that they could animate fur and animate hair. I mean, that was a big deal then, and it just seems like, they've gotten so much better with their technique, and it's constantly amazing. So the thrill is still there, because they're such wonderful storytellers, great writers, and everything is reality based and grounded, so you can believe in it, and it makes it fun.
Yeah, the difference was it's maybe a little bit faster than before. They can do things a little quicker.
Yeah.
But the imagination is even broader, because they can do even more. I first saw the movie 2 weeks ago, and sometimes you just forget what you've done, because we started about 2 years ago, I guess. And the imagery is phenomenal in this movie. The art design of the first movie was astounding, with the door sequence and the chase sequence. This has moments in the scare games that are, you almost take it for granted, but it took years for them to think these things through. And the fact that they can do it, that obstacle course is phenomenal segment. And then little things like the dramatic scene with us at the lake, when Mike goes into the real world at the camp and is not scary, when he's at the lake, that's a, you know, we acted that scene together in the booth, and it for a movie to have room for those two segments alone is kind of epic, I think.
Yeah, cheers.
In the back.
Hello. After creating these great characters for the first film, Mike and Sully, could you talk about going back now and recreating them, but younger versions of them? Was that challenging for you, and did you have to do anything differently with your voices?
Well, the first day that we reported to work together, they showed us renderings of the guys, and we just started laughing because, oh sure, make us look younger, you know, given what we look like in the movie. And they do. I mean, he's a little trimmer and a little slimmer. I've got this retainer, but there's a little more youth in his eye. And they just carry themselves differently. I don't know what, it's just subtle, but it's there.
With the voice thing, I thought I was going to come in and talk like the kid from Armis Brooks. Oh, hello! And it just happened through a couple of passes. It just kind of happens organically. You pick up on other energies and the character's focuses, and it just happens. It's a subtle difference, but it's there.
Right here in the middle.
Hi, I'm Cassandra. I'm 13. I have a question for both of you. So in the movie, Sully isn't exactly the most prepared student on the first day of school. And I'm sure while he was training with Mike, he had many times where he came up with excuses not to train or not to go to class. So as a student or a parent or grandparent yourself, what are some of the best excuses you've heard not to go to school?
Well, I was very elaborate. I would go to the nurse's office and fill up a glass of water, and I was really good at fake vomiting. So I'd go to the nurse's bathroom, do that, and then slam the water into the toilet bowl. Yeah.
You gotta see this. It's really amazing.
And that was an immediate ticket home. Marlon Brando used to take the thermometer and rub it on his leg and then put it back in his mouth.
I just would fake the sore throat thing. I can't. How does that happen? Yesterday was fine. And then she'd go, okay, and I thought, thank you. Oh.
I really want to go to school, though. Well, I don't think you should. All right.
It's up to you.
Here in the second row.
Hi. How did you both enjoy sharing the story of the Uzma Kappa characters, you know, and turning them from rejects into winners?
Well, it's a story that that you've seen in other movies. It's the underdog, and it's great, and it works. And I love that Mike sees something in them, but at the same time he finds out something about himself, and that happens also through Sully. You're the one who did this. You're the one, you know. And so they're endearing, lovely characters, beautifully voiced. I have to tell you something. I saw it 2 weeks ago with the cast. I didn't know that a lot of these people were in the movie. And Sean Hayes is fantastic in the movie. Charlie Day is great in the movie. Alfred Molina is great. Helen is phenomenal. They didn't tell me that all these people in the movie. So it was like going to college at the first day and having all those new roommates. You know, it was fantastic.
I can't compete with these people.
It was great, and they're beautifully animated and they're really appealing. And the great thing about this movie too is that, in my opinion, the first one came out, 2001. John and I remember we hosted several screenings for kids who had just lost their parents or uncle or father or something. Remember in New York?
Yeah.
At the theaters on 33rd Street. They kept round the clock, and we would go out and introduce the movie and so on. All of those kids, and kids throughout the world, were 6 or 7 years old when that movie came out. They're now the same age that Mike and Sully are now. So they look at it in a totally different way. I was at USC a couple weeks ago, and we screened the movie for about 400 film students, and they went berserk because it's them. It's them. They're making decisions in their lives. like Mike and Sully are in this, and you know, these guys are like, they're very important characters to them, to students, and now to little kids. It's like, it's really interesting. Of all the things I've been fortunate to do, that this guy, Mike, is like my favorite character I've ever done, but he also has a toe hold, or a claw hold, and people, that they mean something to them.
Front row.
I wanted to ask each of you, what used to scare you under the bed or in the closet when you were little, and what scares you now when you go to bed?
My Aunt Sheila was terrifying. Because it was the napkin in the mouth. You've got something on your face, too. Let me just scratch that off your face. Let me sand your cheek. I still don't love the darkness, though I've learned to smile at it a little bit now and then. I'm just sort of, the unknown has always been a little scary when you think about those things, especially as you get older. Boy, that got heavy.
I was just run-of-the-mill Frankenstein. Yeah, scared the heck out of me.
Oh, and then when
But I
Psycho
love
came
those
out-
movies, I love those old Universal
Yeah.
movies. Especially when they'd switch off and Bela Lugosi, Frankenstein.
They switch
It's just-
off.
It's just not a fit.
They just got bored that
Didn't
day.
work, yeah.
They wear the hour of the wolf. But Psycho was this month. That was, Mr. Hitchcock knew what he was doing. That was, to this day, it's still terrifying. It's that music, it's the lighting, it's the shooting, it's all of that. It's a genius. He's a genius.
All the way to the back.
For Mr. Crystal, the young actor who played Mike as an even younger, did you work with that actor at all, and how did you think he pulled it
I
off?
didn't even know that was in the movie till I saw it. No, because I had had recorded 3 different openings. So I wasn't sure what they had used. There was, the first version I did without John was I played my parents and Mike and his bored sister in the car. See, it's funny. In the car, going to drop him off at college, something I guess we've all experienced at some point. And so I wasn't sure what was in the opening movie till I saw that. So I would love to meet him because he did a great job. It's a beautiful sequence.
I wonder if they animated that. What
Oh
picture
man,
you
I would
had.
love to see that.
Yeah, no kidding.
That'd be cool.
In the back on the left.
All right, you guys were characters, obviously, that carry over from the first film. There are a ton of new characters in this film. What would you say your favorite new characters are?
They're all great. I mean, I think they're all terrific. Charlie Day's character is really funny. He's I don't know, is it the purple guy? Art. I don't even know their names. So Charlie was great. Sean Hayes is hilarious. That's hilarious, the 2-headed guy. And Helen is terrifying. She's really, I mean, I've worked with her before, and she's the most fun, hip, great, down-to-earth lady, and she's really scary in this movie. They're all good. It's great. It's a very great cast.
Staying in the back.
Sting is in the back?
Favor us with a song, Sting. Bring your bass.
Kind of continuing off of what you were saying, I was curious what you thought that Helen had brought to the movie and the kind of gravitas that she
Who's speaking?
had.
Oh, there, I'd like to see you.
And the train is leaving on track 8. Please mind the gap.
Well, Helen?
Yes, the kind of
Well, she's
gravitas.
aristocracy. I mean, she is Dame Helen, and she's. I wish we also had been around her when she was working. She's just fantastic, and she gets it. You know, she gets the. She's a great actress, so it's easy, and she commands, even in this strangely animated woman, a dragon, whatever she is. She's there's a regalness to her, and her voice is perfect. It was great casting.
That's all we have time for. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you all.